Hello and welcome to sunny Spain. We have traveled today to the province of Alcalá de Guadaira, near Seville, to visit this imposing crusader-like stronghold behind me, known as Castillo del Alcalá de Guadaira. I think I've done that right. That's my high school Spanish coming in handy there. So please join me today as we deep dive into the oases of Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition. During the development of Stronghold Definitive Edition, we got quite a lot of questions, one of which was, why not do Crusader first? The simple answer is that Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition should be built on the foundations of Stronghold DE so that it looks, plays and feels as well as it should do, while also including lots of exciting new features that the original lacked. We had our own ideas, of course, but it was only really after we shared Stronghold DE with you that our plans started to come together. You had some great ideas, we had a few winners, so why not pull everything together and realize the full potential of Crusader? Eventually, we settled on 4 main upgrades, these being new AI opponents, new troop types, larger maps, and new single-player content. This being Stronghold Crusader, this new single-player content will of course include a set of skirmish trails. And yes, before you ask, this will include both a set of solo trails for you to play alone, and in addition to that, we'll have for the first time a bespoke co-op trail for you to play with your friends. It'll be just like playing Command & Conquer 0 Hour as a kid with your friends, playing into the wee hours of the morning until it is impossible, physically impossible, for you to lose. Because that's where the fun is, at least for me. Inspired by our fellow isometric RTS developers like Petroglyph Games and Forgotten Empires, we wanted to both upgrade the core classic, with all the stuff that we did on DE, so Steam multiplayer, upgraded visuals, a few new features, but we also wanted to upgrade the core game experience with brand new features never before seen in the Crusader series. Essentially, we want to take the old game and make it as exciting and fresh as it can feel for series veterans such as yourself. So, let's talk about how we're going to be doing that in Crusader Definitive Edition. Man, it feels good to be able to say that. Memorable characters are often one of the first things that come to mind when we think back to the classic era of 90s isometric real-time strategy. Be it Yuri from Red Alert 2, Arthas from Warcraft 3, or in the case of Stronghold, one of our many AI opponents, there's a good reason why these characters and their endlessly quotable voice lines live rent-free in our heads. Emerging victorious against these characters came with a sense of real achievement. It wasn't just another construction yard or great hall or keep you were destroying, it was their base of operations. So when you defeat the Caliph in a skirmish match and he curses your name, victory feels all the sweeter.
Stay away from my lands, infidel! Stay away!
That's why we'll be adding 4 completely new AI opponents to Stronghold Crusader at launch, 1 for each of our new solo skirmish trails. Alongside our original remastered lords, this brings the total number to 20, giving you more combinations than ever to play with. Even if all you're going to do is load up Crusader DE and fight against 7 Caliph opponents.
I am the skirmish master!
Because apparently that's something that people do willingly. Now, some of these will be familiar faces from the dual campaign in Stronghold DE, but the others will be completely new creations. These new characters will be inspired by your history with the games, but also the deep and wonderful cultures present in the Crusader series. Regardless of who they are, you can expect some interesting strategies to be played out, some unique castle designs, memorable voice lines of course, and a unique selection of units. Speaking of which, the other major thing that Stronghold and all other classic RTS are really memorable for is of course the troops that you command. These guys are memorable both for their abilities in-game and, of course, the weird and wonderful things they would say when told to go here or attack that.
لن تسمع شيئا. سنترك حالا.
These units and their voice lines lend some much-needed personality to the otherwise nameless hordes at your command. This is especially true in Stronghold, when all those soldiers were once simple peasants sitting around your campfire, looking up longingly at their lord. So that's why, in addition to our veteran artists recreating the units from the original game, we will be increasing the roster by 8, with 8 new troops. New units, of course, need a new building, and we'll be adding one to the game in the form of the Bedouin Stockade. These new units will be inspired by the Arabic tribes of the same name, the etymology of which literally translating as desert dweller. This is a rich new culture we're introducing, and we're looking forward to exploring it and hopefully doing it justice in Crusader DE. Expect camels, of course, both in the single and double hump variety, as well as troops inspired by some old favourites, but also completely new concepts for units on the battlefield, each with their own unique strategic significance. Lots more information will of course be coming in future videos, but now, since we're on the topic, let's talk battlefields. New single-player content was super important for Stronghold DE, and with Crusader we want to add as many new missions as possible. We spent a good long while balancing those missions in Stronghold DE to make easy approachable for newbies, but for medium and harder difficulty settings to be challenging for series veterans. Our simple goal for Stronghold Crusader DE is to expand single-player content across the board, giving you plenty to dig your teeth into alone or with friends. First up, we have the main course in terms of new single-player content, which comes in the form of the Sands of Time Trails. 32 new missions will be split across 4 Crusader Trails, and for the uninitiated, a Crusader Trail is a sequence of missions, each with new, unique opponents and battlefields. These Sands of Time missions will of course include the game's new maps, AI opponents and playable units, giving them a unique feel over the 2002 original. In addition to this, we're also planning to include 2 new historical campaigns with 5 missions each. Fought from both the European and Arabic points of view, these 10 missions will tell the tale of new military campaigns from the period. These 2 historical campaigns will also crucially teach you how to use our 8 new units before heading into skirmish mode and online multiplayer. Last but certainly not least, it gives me great pleasure to confirm that both co-op play and larger maps are both coming to Crusader DE at launch. Obviously we want Crusader to look better than it ever has before, and it will do, but we also want grander sieges, meaning bigger maps, larger skirmishes, larger strongholds. When it comes to co-op play, we'll be adding a dedicated 10 mission skirmish trail for 2, in addition to the Sands of Time trails. Cooperative play is really important to us, and we felt like Crusader was the perfect game to introduce it properly to the series. We know that when it comes to Stronghold, extra large maps, high unit counts and playing with your friends are all core to the experience, so we're going to be doing that on Crusader and future titles in the series. Now, just to let you know, this isn't a complete, ultimate, final list of everything that's going to be in Crusader DE at launch. There are, of course, other small features we didn't get time to mention today, and other stuff that we're still working on. There are, of course, elements like final unit count and quality of life features to work out, and of course, that's in addition to all your feedback. The Crusader Definitive Edition demo is currently live on Steam. That includes a full feedback form, so go play it, and then please, 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 fill out the feedback form, tell us what you think. The last time we ran a public demo like this was for Stronghold DE, and the feedback form was an amazing source of research. You told us what you liked, what you wanted to see improved between then and release, and it made for a better game. Likewise, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. We'll be following up the game overview video with a full community Q&A, and I promise you, no question is off limits. If it's a question that we can answer, we will answer it, and if we can't, we'll try to address it in some way and make you laugh at the same time. Before you go, make sure to go and download the Crusader DE demo, build, besiege, enjoy, wishlist, and join us on July 15th for the full release.